Hello, beautiful friends. It's Leah Marie here for your weekly Pick a Card Oracle reading. This week's deck is going to be the Shamanic Medicine Oracle cards. And I am excited to bring forth a beautiful message that taps into the directions, the energy of Earth, and is one of my special areas of expertise in this life as an Earth keeper and trainer and teacher of earth medicine traditions. And so this week I invite you, as always, to not only tap into your intuition for guidance and clarity, but to also call upon Mother Earth and her wisdom to see how she wants to work through these cards with you to bring you a special message of clarity, new awareness, or to answer any specific questions that you might be having right now. So I always invite you to use your own intuition. These are general messages, so if you're tapping in, things may or may not resonate, and so just take what does resonate, leave what does not. And as always with the pick a cards, you can choose one, two, or three of the cards. If the first one doesn't resonate, you can always feel free to try one of the other ones just to kind of play around with it. It's also a fun way to test your own intuitive guidance to see what really does resonate for you. So I'll have you guys go ahead whenever you're tapping into this reading, because of course it is timeless as well, to just bring into your conscious awareness anything that you would like some guidance on. And if there maybe isn't anything right now, you can just go ahead then and bring your awareness to your heart center, take a couple nice conscious breaths, and just allow yourself to be open to receiving whatever messages that Mother Earth, your ancestors, the animal guides, the directions wish to give you today to help you on your journey. And those are going to be our three. So, new way of doing this a little bit. I did introduce it last time, I believe. I am going to have the cards in the same order of 1, 2, and 3. However, from now on, I'm going to kind of flip them back around after I'm done reading each one so that it's a surprise and not necessarily visible to the people that choose the later cards. So feel free to tap in with that. There's going to be timestamps below and all the other contact information and ways in which you can help support Golden Phoenix Healing. And I'm going to go ahead and just begin with card number 1 here. So card number 1 is Tree People, and the keynote of that is sustenance. So the Tree People bring a great amount of wisdom with them for humanity, and I am definitely feeling a strong energy of wisdom here. Not only do the trees carry deep wisdom, but we also have the owl making an appearance, which is a totem that is directly related to wisdom, is a keeper of wisdom. And so this is really tapping into your inner wisdom to sustain yourself. So instead of looking to the world outside of you, this card is calling you to begin to look deeper within yourself and to really start to go into the roots of your being, whether that's the roots of your personal ancestry, your soul's ancestry, your lineage. It's really time to reflect within to sustain yourself and your life moving forward. So ways in which you can do this are going to be to go out in nature and commune with the trees specifically. So trees, in my experience, have very unique personalities. They do all have gifts and wisdom to share, not just the overarching all trees are the same sort of energy. Each tree is very unique, even within the same type of tree. So all oak trees, all maples, all of the different types of trees are going to carry a unique signature, but then even within that, each individual tree is just as unique and gifted as each individual person is. And so they are very willing to communicate with us when we reach out, when we commune with them. Now, what that could look like is going out and sitting with a tree and just going into a really nice place of silence and stillness within yourself, opening your heart, and then internally asking the tree to communicate to you wisdom that it has to share. And then just allow yourself to be open to any flashes of images, sensations, sounds, words, um, anything that really comes into your conscious awareness while you're communing with the tree. An additional powerful thing that I really enjoy is I actually like to go up to trees, and it's intuitive. So when I'm out walking, there might be a tree and there's something about it, or I get a sensation, or just like there's something cool looking about it that makes me want to approach it, get closer, explore a little bit more. So when I have those feelings, I honor that. And that's sort of what the tree people are calling you to do, is to honor that. If you are really intuitively called to a specific tree, go to it. You can place one or both of your hands, or even hug the tree, which is sometimes kind of fun, as long as it's safe and comfortable, because trees can be a little rough depending on their bark type, right? So really having that physical contact though with the tree. The trees are living sentient beings. They have energy flowing through them. They have life flowing through them. And when we actually touch them, they can begin to transmit their wisdom to us, in addition to helping to awaken wisdom that already exists within our soul that's ready to be surfaced. So the trees people and tree spirits are speaking with you now, this message of commune with them, commune with their wisdom, so that they can help awaken your wisdom on deeper levels, for you to have a clearer vision of how to interact with the world and with your life right now. And they also bring forth really beautiful messages of cycles, especially for those of us in the Northern Hemisphere in North America right now. We're beginning to approach fall. The equinox is going to be in just a few days. And in this space, we're coming into a time where the trees are starting to shed that which no longer serves them. They don't need their leaves going into the winter season. They're beginning to release that energy because they're not going to be the resources or nutrients to sustain it in the winter months. So they really can help teach us how to release at this time of year. What's holding us back? What's weighing us down? What do we not want to take with us into the winter season, where there is a time for conserving resources, introspection? And so you'll see the trees, they actually pull their energy back so that they can sustain themselves through the winter months here, which can be long and harsh. And so they do need to kind of pull back and really, when I say pull back, it's not contract, it is conserve so that they can sustain. So tapping into the sustenance. So it's more about being able to sustain their energy. So in order for them to continue to live through the winter, so that when the spring comes, they can just burst with all this beautiful new life, they need to sustain their energy. And so there's different strategies that they naturally operate from that allow them to sustain through the seasons in different ways. And this is calling you at this time to start looking at what needs to be released, so that when you move into the next cycle, you can be doing so from a very light place, where it's going to be much easier for you to be in that introspective state and to really nurture yourself and maximize on what that next stage has to offer you. So this is really calling you for the next chunk of days, weeks, even you could do it through the whole autumn season, and allow yourself to use this time to focus on releasing and shedding anything that isn't serving the life that you really want to be living. And so I really suggest you spend some time out in nature, connecting with the trees and just seeing what beautiful gifts that they wish to impart to you. So thank you so much for those of you who chose card 1, sending you lots of love and light. And I'm going to move on to card 2. Card 2 is the upper world, which is all about future. So, this is a beautiful message, and the center point is a moon here. So, really getting a lot of intuitive energy, and it's also surrounded by the astrological signs, so the 12 signs of the zodiac. And so, this is really tapping into the energy of both your future, but creating your future from a place of connecting with the stars, connecting with your star ancestors, the lineage from which you came, and to one day you will return. So, whether you identify as a star seeder light worker, which is terms I'll use on the channel here, and there are other videos coming out on the channel related to that, whether you do identify with that or not, there is a connection to the stars that all of us have. Many people have found over the ages, we look to the stars for guidance, for clarity. You know, shamanically speaking, the stars and the sun and the moon were utilized in order to work through the seasons, times to plant, times to harvest, when ceremonies would take place. So this is inviting you to really tap into that upper world, which is the cosmic energies. So calling out to your cosmic ancestors, whether you are familiar with that or not, it starts by opening a dialogue. So asking to be shown what guides, guardians, angels, supporters are coming to you from these higher realms that are the upper world, the higher realms of consciousness. Who from that space wants to come to this plane to help you now begin to lay a really strong foundation for your future? So, with this card today, too, interestingly, I'm feeling a little bit of restriction, needing to clear my throat chakra. And so it feels like for some of you tapping into this particular card, it may be speaking to the need to more fully speak your truth about the future for yourself. What does the future look like for you? Have you been communicating with yourself about that? Are there other people that you need to communicate about that? Could also be what's coming through is this energy of fear related to the future. Are you getting kind of choked up when you're thinking about the future? I know that for many people, the future can be a little scary or intimidating sometimes, or be perceived as that way, right? Because we don't always have a clear picture for what the future looks like. And the way that the mind works is that if we don't have a picture for something, the go-to operating system is going to be fear or rejection or confusion. And so, with that, if you're experiencing any of those types of emotions when you think about the future, it's really important to bring your awareness back to your heart center and to call out to these cosmic forces. And you'll see, like, all that energy is drawing into the center. So, the cosmic forces in the universe from the upper worlds and your ascended masters, your cosmic guides, they are coming through because they want to help you release those fears, those aspects of confusion, the doubt, the worry, and they want to give you a clearer picture of what your future could look like. Now, because time is fluid and because there's free will, these things can change. And yet at the same time, when we are focused on utilizing all of our resources to construct our future, it makes it so much easier for us to get a much clearer picture for that. So the tree is tapping in here, which is also a little related to the first card. So if you do feel a strong call to the tree energy in here, I do recommend that you check out the first card as well, because there's some wisdom that comes through with that, and the wisdom is the energy. So you're being called to go to the upper world to connect with the wisdom of your roots, of your ancient ancestry, in order to help you cultivate a new future. And this is a really optimal time for that, as everything is so in flux that now is a very opportune time for you to institute new changes. Now, it's not necessarily going to be super comfortable always, or necessarily what you might call easy. However, the investments that you make in yourself and creating a vision for your future, whether you create a vision board or you write out what you want that to look like, or you talk about it with yourself and your guides, whatever that looks like for you, now is a really important time to do that to help manifest that into the physical reality. And so you're really being called to work with your cosmic guides and ancestors to help you cultivate this new future that you want to birth. And if this is something that you would like help with, I do actually offer one-on-one guided journeys to help people travel to the upper world to connect more deeply. So if that's something you're not sure how to do, feel free to reach out and I'm happy to help give you a foundation for that as well. So thank you so much for those of you who selected card 2. Sending you so much love and light, and I will connect again soon. So moving on to card 3. Thank you for those of you who picked card 3, and this is Conch Shell, which is the calling. And so this is really coming through right away with actually 2 different messages. So first message is calling, as in it is time for you to call out to the divine forces in the universe for help. So whatever it is that you're asking for, or even if you came and you were like didn't have anything specific, it's time for you, or the message that's coming through is saying it's time for you to call out, to sound your horn, as it were. These were used traditionally as vessels of calling out sounds. And so sometimes used as musical instruments, but often in the shell energy, it was more like a calling or a signaling. So the energy that they're giving me today is more of a like robust calling out to spirit, asking for help, asking for support, asking for guidance. So there's going to be points in our life where we could be struggling with things or experiencing things that we're not entirely sure how to navigate. And we might not have any human beings in our lives that we feel we can go to. And even if we do, they might not be able to give us the energy and the wisdom to the degree that spirit and our ancestors can. And it's really important to have a combination so that you're not just having physical human people, but you're also having spirit and energetic helpers as well that you're cultivating relationships with. And so I encourage you to call out to whatever it is that you feel is divine in the universe. And when you do so passionately, do so from your heart with this energy of, I need your help. I cannot do this without you, because there are, in fact, just going to be things that we are not capable of doing on our own. If we were meant to do life on our own, we wouldn't have been born onto a planet with other people. We wouldn't have all of these other beautiful higher consciousness energies around us, supporting us, helping us, if we were meant to do it alone. And while I know that it can be challenging to ask for help, you are really being strongly called, having this calling to put out your call, and whatever that looks like and sounds like for you. So that's like the first message that's coming through. And then there's also this energy of, I'm going to pull this back out so I can kind of show you. So inside the shell, in many of these shells, if you were to look at one in the physical world, there's often these really beautiful colors and shapes and energies that are inside. And so this is inviting you to explore your internal world more in depth, to call out to your sacred self inside and explore your heart. Use your voice to bring forth those messages of beauty and grace that are within you and bring those out to share them. You know, you were seeing all of this energy, movement, color coming out of there. So it's not just about using something like a shell to make a sound. it's about using your voice to speak. So even the colors on this card are all that really, really deep blue, which is so often associated with our throat chakra, and being able to share our unique message. And I've said this before on this channel, and I will continue as always to say the things that Spirit is really like driving home for us is now is a time you are being called to share your voice in the way that you are here to share it. And I really feel like that's going to look different for each and every one of you. And that's the point. It isn't about sounding or being or doing what anyone else is doing. We're in a place now where it's about coming into unity and also expressing the unique individuality that we have, but from a place of unity. And so this is also calling you to start exploring that and what that might look like for you personally. So that is the overarching messages. Those are the overarching messages for card 3. And I really am grateful for those of you who chose card 3. And I'm sending you so much love and light and blessings and wishing you all a wonderful week. So take care, and I will connect again soon. Bye.